Hello, friends and family. I hope you're having a great day, and thank you for stopping by. Today, I'm going to talk about pinto beans. A lot of us have pinto beans stored, but you know something? There's a lot of people that are not real sure on what to do or how to make pinto beans. I'm going to be quite honest. I was one of those. For many years, I had never eaten pinto beans. We had black-eyed peas in our family, you know. We had butter beans, lima beans, uh, we had black-eyed peas, but I had never eaten pinto beans. And so I have to figure if I've never eaten them, other people haven't either. So that's what this is about. Now, this is a jar of pinto beans that I froze. Now, I cook my pinto beans in a slow cooker. I wash, separate my beans, make sure there's no rocks in them, pick out the really ugly ones or, dark, damaged. And then I wash them good, and then I put them in a slow cooker. And I cook them overnight. I add, a spoon of salt. And many times I add salt pork or bacon to the beans. And then once they're cooked, I usually have, I know this may sound strange to some of you, but I have what I call refried beans for breakfast, pretty much on a daily basis. We eat a lot of pinto beans. So I put them in these jars and I freeze them, okay? And then when I want pinto beans, I just take them out of the freezer. Now, I do have some canned beans. I buy them in cans. And I hold on to those for emergencies. So, I have both. Now, you may want to can your own beans, but we eat so many that I would be constantly canning beans. And for me, it's just far easier just to freeze them and take them out as I need them. But today we're going to do a recipe, and it's going to be non-fat beans, refried beans, non-fat. You can buy them in a can if you want. I do not think they taste as good as the ones you make homemade. I just don't care for them. But, hey, if you do, and it's like I've said, it's an emergency, you'll eat it. It won't matter whether you like it or not. You'll eat it. So, but this is a way to show you the version of non-fat. Now, if you put salt pork in it, they don't really consider it non-fat anymore because pork has fat and the beans will have grease. So let's get going here and put it in the pot. Okay, we have our beans in a pot. What we're going to do now is we're just going to let these heat up until they're really nice and bubbly. And we're going to turn them into a refried beans. And this is going to be a non-fat refried bean. And non-fat, like I said before, is nothing more than a bean cooked with no fat in it. But when you want to refry it, which I've never really understood, because to refry something means frying it. And yet they'll sell a non-fat refried bean in a can. Well, how do you fry it if it's, no fat? I just don't get the concept, but they do sell them that way. But I thought I would show you how to do it at home with your own beans, because it is far cheaper to do them yourself than it is to buy them in a can. Now, like I said, if you wanted a fat version, if you put salt pork into this or bacon into your beans when you cook them, well, they wouldn't be fat-free. But if you go to a video that I call Beans and Weenies, that's a real, what they call a really real fried bean, because lard is used in it when you make it, and I just added beans to it. People will eat that with tostadas. They will eat it and burritos, which is what I do, and just put salsa over the beans and weenies and makes a wonderful burrito. But normally refried beans are definitely cooked with grease, okay? But some people don't like that, and if you were short on lard, or because lard is what's usually used, you could still have your beans this way, which gives them a far better taste than just a bowl of beans, okay? So let's get these cooking here. Okay, you see how our beans are really like boiling, nice and hot and bubbly? Well, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this And we're going to mash on these beans. We're going to put this down in here and just smash them. And that's how they kind of get their refried beans. I mean, they have to be mashed. You may have to tap off the side here a little bit, because as you mash them, it will get stuck to your masher. You just got to keep doing this and then come back and kind of tap that to get, hope my tapping this doesn't shake the camera. I can't really tell because I'm so busy concentrating on getting these beans mashed down, or smashed or mashed. Gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Now, some people might put this in like a food processor and just, you know, chop them up or something, you know, but this is the old-fashioned way, before they invented food processors and all kinds of other things to do, you know, with electricity. And we might get to the point where we just might have to go back to a lot of those things. So, and this is it. You got the beans pretty smashed up. They don't have to be 100%, but this does give the beans a completely different flavor than just a bowl of beans. It really does. So they're actually very, very good this way. They would make what I call a grape tostada. You know, where you cook a corn tortilla, fry it. I'll make the recipe one of these days. They really are good. This would make a good kind of like a taco salad, where you put hamburger meat over tostadas, corn tostadas, and you would just drizzle, you know, the beans over the tostadas with hamburger meat on it, and then some people put lettuce and tomatoes. I just liked it with cheese sprinkled all over the top that way. You see how this? Now, let's get a close-up of this, okay, with a spoon. Okay, here you are. This is refried beans. And they're a little bit on the liquidy side, especially compared to the canned ones. But you can keep cooking it down till you get it the consistency of what you like. But I'm going to have to be honest, my family likes these with quite a bit of juice in them. They don't like them cooked all the way down. They like them just like this, with the beans smashed down and with quite a bit of liquid in them. So that's probably how I'm going to serve them. But like I said, if you want them, you know, not with, you know, with less liquid, then just keep cooking them till you get them of the consistency you want. And that's what most people do. Most refried beans is a Spanish dish, and when they make them at home, they're nothing like what comes in that can. So they're more like this right here. And but they also add lard to it. A lot of people do, but I don't think it's necessary when you're doing this kind of a bean. Unless you're wanting to make it into a burrito, then I think you need to add some lard and thicken it up a lot more. But hope you'll try this and prep those beans and keep them stocked and stored. And this is just another way to use them. And may God bless you May you have a blessed day.